we are in Hamburg, which is our hometown and also known by many as the most beautiful city in the world. And today we are facing a very tough budget sightseeing challenge as we try to craft a sightseeing tour through Hamburg with a budget of only 10 euros. Don't lose it.
So this is our town hall, and I think you can also visit it, but I think it's not for free, so we can't afford it today.
It's kind of pretty and a bit interesting.
A little bit, but you can also look at it from the outside, which
Which
is
is
for free.
free.
Germany isn't the cheapest country and inflation hasn't helped, but it's a beautiful day, walking is free, and we're gonna try to include some nice views, transportation, food and drinks. It's gonna be a tough one though.
Now for this tour, we're gonna mainly stick to places along the Elbe River, which if it's your first time in Hamburg, that's probably what you're gonna do as well, because Hamburg is known for its port. It's a good place to start your sightseeing tour.
We bought a Franzbrötchen, our favorite cheap-ish German snack, and breakfast, and dinner, and lunch. These are the ruins of a church that has been destroyed in World War II in 1944, but they left everything that is still standing as a monument against war. And you can read a lot about the history in here. You can also visit the tower, it's 6 euros, and you probably have nice views from there. We're not gonna find out because it's not in the budget.
But this part is for free and we are technically standing inside of the church.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, but there's no roof. Or a lot of walls are missing as well. And it's cool that it's still standing because it's one of the many, many churches in Hamburg.
Yeah.
And how many churches are there?
How would I know? Free music.
This reminds me of one of our first videos that we ever filmed.
Oh yes.
Eating Franzbrötchen on a park bench.
Yeah, I mean, maybe this isn't the best Franzbrötchen you can get in Hamburg, but most of them that you can get at normal bakeries are pretty good. So if you want to hear a long story about Franzbrötchen, you can watch our other video. But the short form is, it's a pastry with a lot of cinnamon, and it has similarities to a croissant, but it's more doughy, I would say. It's made with yeast, and it's kind of special, and it's a true northern German local food. But will it be good? Yep, it's a good one. It's a real classic one. I really like that there's a lot of this cinnamon, sugar and butter mix in it. You see these saucy parts there? Those are the best ones. I mean, you can't really go wrong with that. And it was €1.80. So we have €8.20 left.
And next up, we're gonna head to one of the most famous landmarks in Hamburg. It's a recent addition to the Hamburg skyline.
Not really that recent, is it?
Well, it's probably the most recent iconic building. And it's a good one.
If you're walking from Old Town to the Elbe, you pass a lot of these cute streets with people sitting outside and cafes, and it's quite nice.
Now this landmark we're talking about is called the Elbphilharmonie, and it's pretty much Hamburg's version of Sydney's Opera House, just that it's for concerts, and if you ask me, it's slightly more impressive. You know, I like the Sydney Opera House, but this one, you'll see, it's kind of pretty. And it's located right in the center of Hamburg's warehouse district. This is where all of the business was conducted. This is basically the business hub when,
Tell us when.
When we didn't have the big container port that we have now. This is where all of the products were stored and loaded onto the boats. This is basically why Hamburg is such an important city in Germany, and there's a very rich history. which we won't go into right now. We have to make our time slot at the Elbphilharmonie. You know, kind of on a schedule here.
So ideally you would come here to see a concert, but that would have completely broken our budget. So what you can do instead is go upstairs to have a really nice view. You can go on this platform that is called the Plaza, and it only costs €2. You can conveniently book your tickets online. You can choose a time slot of an hour where you can enter that, and you can just go in without waiting to buy tickets. So that's what we did. So I can tell you something about this escalator. This is a curved escalator that brings you up, which is 80 meters long, and it's the longest curved escalator in the world.
This is Elbphilharmonie Facts with Zoe. She's got a lot more coming.
Oh yeah. So the initial estimated costs for this building were 244 million euros. Now guess what it cost in the end? A lot more. It were 866 million. And I remember those times when there were news about a new estimation, and the opening was also postponed again and again. And here in Hamburg, a lot of people, I think, were against this whole project. But I think once it was built and everybody saw how pretty it was, most people were kind of happy that it all turned out this way. Now I don't think anybody talks about the costs anymore.
That's how it always goes.
Let's have a look outside. What a lovely view. You can see the whole harbor from here.
So one really cool thing about this plaza is, of course, the view is nice, but it's also a true 360-degree view, because you can walk around the whole building. Now, if you've got some money to splurge and you want to enjoy more of this view, you can stay here in the hotel. It's about €300 a night. Also slightly above our budget.
The reason there aren't any birds here on this plaza is because they've installed a bird frightener, which is...
It's not a person.
It's not a person, it's a sound that's emitted here that lets birds feel like someone's stroking their feathers.
Okay.
So, yeah, they probably think that's weird and they don't come here.
What about you? Not a bird? Okay.
There's the church we've just been to. In this building there are 29 elevators, 11 staircases and 4,000 rooms, but only 500 of them belong to the concert halls.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not all concert halls, but...
No, that would be a lot of concert halls.
Yeah. They've put a lot of effort into designing and engineering this concert hall. So the sound is supposed to be perfect, but there are also some critics who say it's too perfect because you can hear everything immediately. Even if someone coughs or gets something out of their bag, the whole room can hear it. The whole wall, I would say.
Basically, if you're whispering to your partner that you don't like the concert,
the artist might hear.
Yeah.
So be careful about that.
So far we've been to 2 concerts here and the sound was fine. Yeah, we didn't have any complaints.
Yeah, it was alright. Can you guess how much this whole building weighs?
I don't know, how much does it weigh?
It weighs 2,000 tons.
Cool, and how much is that in cruise ships?
2.5.
Okay.
2.5 times the Queen Mary 2. You know that one. It's a big one.
Very impressive.
We've now walked all the way from the Elbphilharmonie to Landungsbrücken, which is where all the boats and ferries leave. And it's a very nice and scenic walk because you walk along the harbor. And now we have to do one more pit stop before we go to our next location.
So for this pit stop, we are cheating slightly. Well, basically we're just buying some stuff for a picnic and, well, we're just buying some drinks because we know from experience that our next destination, drinks prices are definitely not in our budget. And so we're going to the supermarket. It's not cheating, is it?
Nah, I think it's fine.
It's fine.
Edeka, our favorite and also the most expensive supermarket, but the location is very convenient, so.
Now those are the prices we're talking about. One for you and one for me. Well, actually both for you, okay, because you have to pay. So our drink of choice is Kiezmische by Astra, which is a Hamburg original drink. It's also called Alsterwasser, which means water from the Lake Alster, which is in the center of Hamburg. And it's a mix of lemonade and beer. Very popular here and all over Germany, although in the rest of Germany it's called Radler, not Alsterwasser. And Astra rebranded Alsterwasser to Kiezmische. It's all very complicated, but it's delicious.
Just don't call it Radler.
And it's great for a nice summer's day.
Astra is originally from Hamburg, from Altona to be exact. And it exists since 1909. At least the brand exists since 1909. I think the brewery even existed before. Some people love it, some people hate it. It's a big discussion in Hamburg especially. So let's take these and go to the beach.
The beach in Hamburg? On this tour we are pretty much only sticking to the Elbe, but I mean look at it, what a sight it is. We've also got boats, very cool boats.
Now from here at Landungsbrücken you can take a harbor boat trip, which is quite expensive, or you can just take the ferry that takes you to a lot of places along the river, and it's included in the local transport ticket. So if you have a daily ticket, you can also use the ferry. And otherwise, it's €2.33.
Yes, if you book it through the app.
If you book it through the app. And if you don't have the app, you can use these nifty vending machines. And you can switch to English down here. And you just buy a ticket for a local journey, which is €2.50. Just download the app. Save yourself 17 cents.
And then you take ferry number 62, which we're about to do. That's a cool rhyme for you. It can get very crowded, especially on the weekends, which you're about to see in a few seconds. I actually used to take the ferry to work, which was pretty cool. It's a good way to start the day.
It's a little bit full today, but I think we're gonna manage to get on board. After sightseeing and walking a lot, what's better than a drink at the beach?
Because if you didn't know, in addition to all of those beautiful sights, Hamburg also has a beach. It's maybe not a typical beach by the ocean, but it's by our river here. It's more of an industrial beach, probably, because you've got a really nice view of the container ships and the harbor and all of the containers being shipped onto the boats. And it's a unique beach, I would say.
And a lot of people are actually swimming here as well, and it's probably also safe to swim here. It's just not the cleanest water because there are also lots of boats passing by, which are nice to watch. So I think we're gonna stay here.
Okay, this challenge might have been a mistake. I mean, it's definitely not an easy challenge because...
Why did we decide to do this?
Well, the thing is, Hamburg has a great public transportation system, which we are not allowed to use because of this budget constraint. So we don't really recommend you to do this, because we now have had to walk 1 hour from the beach to Sternschanze, which is the district where we want to get some dinner.
Just buy a ticket for public transport
Yeah, just
and
do
take
it.
the train. I mean, except if you like to walk.
Yeah.
And if the weather's nice. And if you want to see a bit of Hamburg. I mean, it's not a very stupid idea because you get to see Altona.
That's
while
nice.
You walk.
And now you can also walk through Sternschanze, which is also a very nice district. It's more the alternative district here. Nice to look at. So what's the best budget food in pretty much any city, at least European cities? Falafel. And here in Sternschanze you've got 2 legendary falafel shops. They are right next to each other. They're called Falafel Stern and Kimo. It's up to you which one you want to go to. They are both very good. I don't know if they are competitors and hate each other, you know, and it's an old rivalry, or maybe they're just good friends, because I think business is pretty good for both of them. I mean, you can see the queues. What we've got here is the classic falafel. It's in a wrap and you've got some hummus on top. It's nice and toasty and you've got all kinds of other vegetables inside.
Let's give this 350 falafel wrap a go.
One benefit already is that it is big.
The falafel just tastes really fresh. They have nice spices in them. Does everybody know what a falafel is? I think so. It's basically fried chickpea balls. This wrap also has a lot of hummus inside, and you don't always get that. So I've tried a lot of falafel wraps in Hamburg, and I would say this is definitely one of the best.
We might have gone slightly over budget. This cost €3.50, which, you know, you'll see in the total sum that we may have broken the budget a little bit, but it's just a little bit. And this used to be a little bit cheaper, but in recent times, you know how it is. So, can you go on a little sightseeing tour of Hamburg with a budget of only €10?
Almost?
Yeah, almost. I mean, of course you can. You can just walk around everywhere, and walking is for free. You could also leave out some food and drinks.
Just starve?
Yeah, starve a little bit, or leave out public transport because you can walk. But this has only been a slight teaser of what Hamburg has to offer. There's much more, which we'll maybe cover in another video.
So we really hope you like this video. If yes, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. And we'll see you in the next one.
Bye bye.